Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we have got a couple of news stories to get through in the world of PC gaming. First up, we are going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, which a week after it's come out is still completely broken. There was a patch yesterday, but unfortunately it's still having a ton of issues. We'll get into the patch notes on that. Also, mod support has been officially announced by Open4, which is the mods that are used for games like GTA 5, so that you can actually start working on mods for that, so we'll get fired into all that information. Also, the NVIDIA Game Ready driver for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is available. We'll go over some of the fixes that are in there, and things that it has addressed with Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. And last up at the end of the video, I'm going to be doing a very brief, spoiler-free review of the first episode of The Mandalorian, which is the new Star Wars series, which just premiered yesterday. Did you just finish building a sweet gaming rig only to have this happen to you? Not to worry, because your CD Key has you covered with Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $15. And if you head over there right now, you could save 20% off with my code JPD20 at checkout. You'll receive your key within seconds, and then just click the start button and type activate to find the Windows activation screen, and all you gotta do then is paste your code in. For more info as well as that coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So first up, we'll be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, which received a patch yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how big the patch was. It must have downloaded on the launcher while I was away from my PC or something, as I've pretty much been leaving it open 24/7. Now, I did see an update to the actual Rockstar launcher itself, but I didn't see one for the game. But apparently it was patched yesterday, and we got to look at the patch notes, which unfortunately have not given us any fixes for stability in any way whatsoever, and actually some people are even reporting that it's breaking the game depending on which API you're using. So we'll shoot over to DSOG, where they mentioned that not only that were there not fixes for Red Dead Redemption 2's stability, but it actually completely broke the DX12 compatibility on their end, and the game is now constantly crashing upon loading a save. The only way that they can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC right now is via the Vulkan API, and other users have reported the exact opposite, so they don't know what the hell is going on here, and personally, neither do I. I loaded up the game today to try to test this out in DirectX 12, even though I have been playing on Vulkan ever since enabling async compute last week, and my game crashed almost immediately. I basically loaded in to my save, and as soon as I touched my mouse to go ahead and look around, I just had a hard crash to the desktop, and I had to load back into the game. I tried DX12 again, same exact thing happened. So as soon as I switched it over to Vulkan, it's now working for me. But as they said, some people are reporting the opposite, where it's broken on Vulkan now. So I just really want them to fix this game already. Like Modern Warfare has been out for a month now, and that game has had probably at least half a dozen patches already, which improved performance, stability, added in content. And Red Dead Redemption 2, the only patch notes that are really here for November 12th patch was to add in more content for the Red Dead Online, because of course it is, so that they can keep on milking people to buy those gold bars. As you can see in the patch notes here, they added in a new legendary bounty for the Red Dead Online. They also added in a weekly collectible list, again, for the online. They added in a bunch of permanent clothing items, things that you'd be able to buy with those gold bars. And yeah, that's basically just all Red Dead Online stuff, and a new limited time clothing so that they can feed on the FOMO, the fear of missing out, in case you don't get this amazing Cardozo vest before it's gone from the Red Dead Online, which I honestly haven't even touched since the game came out on the PC last week. If you've been playing it, let me know how the in-game economy is for the Red Dead Online. I only tried it briefly last year on the PS4, and it was awful. Like, you could sell a can of baked beans for more than a gold ring. I'd love to see if that kind of stuff got resolved. Maybe I need to get on there and give it a try out. But impressions from last year were not good. So the fact that they are focusing so hard on adding in more stuff to the Red Dead Online experience rather than fixing their completely broken and buggy game, and still have not, from what I can see, made a public statement on the performance and the crashing. I mean, the performance is what it is. You know, it runs well as long as you optimize your settings and tweak things in there. But I'm more just concerned with keeping the game from completely crashing out, as it still does happen every once in a while. Switching over to async compute has fixed it immensely for me, but I have definitely still seen a few crashes here and there, although it's definitely better than what I was using initially when the game came out. So they really need to address that, people that still cannot load the game, even though they said they patched it. People still can't load the goddamn game. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any mods either that fix this kind of stuff, apart from, well, the async compute fix, which I covered on the channel, which did help a little bit, but it's still not perfect. And speaking of mods, the people behind the Open4 mod have announced support for Red Dead Redemption 2. A few weeks ago, when we were leading up to this, they said that they would be supporting the game, but now they've officially revealed it. Now, it's not available yet, so you're not going to be able to start modding Red Dead Redemption 2 right away, but basically they have got a look at the files for the game, and they mentioned in their post here that the new RPF8 archive does not have names yet for the entries, only hashes. So that's really the main thing that they're talking about here, is that, you know, support is coming, but right now everything is kind of encoded in these hashes, so to speak. Or not so to speak, they are called hashes. It's basically just hashes at this point. So right now what they're doing is going through the process of identifying each of those individual hashes so they can figure out what it correlates to, whether it be for, let's say, Arthur, so that you can change out Arthur and play as a different character, or play as Iron Man or Spider-Man, or whatever kind of character you want to play, which we've seen in mods for things like GTA 4, GTA 5. So all that stuff is going to be coming to the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is going to make it even better, in my honest opinion. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, you know, what kind of mods come about once they, you know, figure out what all the different hashes are and what people can go ahead and do with that. Because as of right now, there are some quote-unquote mods available over on Nexus Mods, but really it's just kind of save file tweaks and things like that. If you look over here, they've got things like you can start off with John Marston with $4,000. Oh, that's a bit of a spoiler, sorry. You can basically a settings file for Xbox One X settings, just like they covered over on Hardware Unboxed. There's a bunch of reshades. There's some different save game files and things like that, but really nothing too earth-shattering. Just like basically I said, reshades, different save files to give yourself, you know, boosted money. The one mod that I did use was to skip ahead to Chapter 2, because I've already played the game twice on PS4, and I didn't want to play through the first 2 hours of the game again, because it's just kind of slow-paced and dull. So I wanted to just skip ahead to the part where you get to Valentine and kick my playthrough off from there. So there's a bunch of mods like that, and even like other chapters, you can skip ahead to Chapter 3, 4, 5. Basically, they've got mods for everything. They've even got a 100% completion mod where everything is completely done, although I don't really know what you're going to do in the game with that, except for maybe when mods become available. Maybe that would help you out if you wanted to just go around and explore and play with mods on in God mode, which is a thing. They've already got God mode for the game if you want to go ahead and use that. But moving on from Red Dead Redemption 2, we've got the game-ready driver for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is coming out this Friday. The driver from NVIDIA is 441.20. Haven't seen anything yet from AMD on an official driver from them. We've just got this game-ready driver from NVIDIA, which they say game-ready drivers provide the best possible gaming experience for all major new releases, and prior to a new title launching, our driver team is working up until the last minute to ensure every performance tweak and bug fix is included for the best gameplay on day one. And this game does launch on Friday the 15th, so just a few days away from now. And they did also mention that they added an SLI profile for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So any of you would-be SLI users out there, hopefully the SLI support is good and works, unlike Red Dead Redemption 2, which just basically sees one GPU at 90% utilization and the other at 10%, at least in the gameplay videos that I've found. With SLI, I haven't tested it personally, as I don't have two of any of the same cards right now. So hopefully SLI is decent in Jedi Fallen Order if it's something that we did end up needing. And there are a bunch of other fixed issues in here as well for Red Dead Redemption 2. They specifically mention that on Vulcan with Maxwell GPUs, geometry corruption occurs on some Maxwell GPUs, so hopefully it will go ahead and fix that. And then also with Vulcan, it said that G-Sync would disengage whenever you disabled V-Sync on the game. So those are some of the issues with Red Dead Redemption 2, which they are saying are fixed with this latest driver. So you can go ahead and grab that now, especially if you're going to pick up Jedi Fallen Order. Probably worth giving it a download. I downloaded it last night, and so far it worked fine for me on Red Dead 2, which I was playing today on Vulcan. And oddly enough, sticking with Star Wars as a theme, I mentioned at the start I wanted to give you a brief review, it's completely spoiler-free, of the first episode of The Mandalorian. In case you're not familiar, The Mandalorian is basically a Star Wars show that's on the new Disney Plus, which launched yesterday. I went ahead and activated a 1-week free trial on my Amazon Fire Stick, so if you want to give it a try, it's free for a week. You can go ahead and cancel it immediately, and you'll have the subscription for the remainder of the week. So that's basically what I did, but I do think I'm going to keep it because at least until the first season of The Mandalorian is over, as far as the rest of the content on there is concerned, it's just basically all the back catalog of movies from like Marvel, Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, all that stuff, which personally I don't really need. But I like the original programming, and for $7 a month, it's not too bad. And so far, the reason I'm going to keep it for The Mandalorian at least is because the show was absolutely incredible. Like the practical effects, the story of it, the characters, the acting on it, everything was just top-notch, superb. Jon Favreau is the showrunner on this, so they've really got a top-notch team for The Mandalorian, and so far this is like one of the best things I've seen since Disney took over the Star Wars franchise, besides Rogue One. Before this, I thought Rogue One was the best thing that they've done so far with the new Star Wars cinematic universe. So The Mandalorian, yeah, it's basically about a bounty hunter, he's kind of similar to Boba Fett, if you're familiar with that, of course. If you're a Star Wars fan, you should be. He's a Mandalorian like Boba Fett, so yeah, he's a bounty hunter, goes around kicking ass, taking names, and capturing people, and then putting them in carbonite. So it's a really, really good series so far, and it's definitely worth checking out. The only thing that I did find to be minorly disappointing was the runtime on the episode. For the premiere episode, it was only 39 minutes, which was, like I said, very disappointing. I'm afraid the future episodes are only going to be like 30 minutes possibly, but hopefully they're at least 40 minutes long. For a premiere episode, I was honestly hoping that every episode would be an hour. It's just what I'm kind of used to, especially when you're paying for a service specifically to watch a series. I would have liked it to have been an hour long, at least for the premiere, but I would certainly have loved it even more if it was an hour for every single episode, and maybe do the premiere maybe even longer than that. Maybe do like a 90-minute premiere episode to kind of introduce everything. But we got a roughly 40-minute runtime, so that was the only real downside for me. The second episode is going to be coming out this Friday, the 15th, so I'll definitely be checking that out, and the subsequent episodes that come after that. And as I said, they've got a 1-week free trial on, it's the Disney Plus app. It just came out yesterday. So far, it's pretty bare for new original content. They basically brought out The Mandalorian and a live-action version of Lady and the Tramp, which looks good CGI and stuff like that in it. Reviews seem mixed on it so far, but I might check it out with my girlfriend if she feels like watching it. But definitely worth checking out The Mandalorian one way or another, however you can access it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. As always, I look forward to your thoughts, opinions, comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it down below. Subscribe if you're not already, and if you've been here for a while, go ahead and ring that notification bell. That way you never miss a moment of content when it goes up live on the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Ta-ra.